Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown. I am back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And this is take two of this particular film. I had a technical issue, so I've had to start again. So I've opened two bottles of cider because I'm having two ciders. So it's a cider off between Major and Major. It's Major versus Major. It's like Meryl Streep versus Dustin Hoffman with me in between. Both of the same vintage, 2019. Both from Ross-on-Wye. So what's the difference? Well, they're both open, unfortunately. But let me read what's on the side of this bottle first. This is the first one I'm going to read. Major is such a wonderful variety that both Somerset and Devon claim to be where it originated. A full-bodied bittersweet apple, Major produces a supremely fruity cider that has a touch of acidity but is mostly characterised by a creamy, juicy mid-palate and then big phenolic tannins on the finish. Rather than bitterness or astringency, it has earthiness, minerality or medicinal character. In this bottle, these components are all in balance, giving complexity and drinkability. A favourite. This one is 6.8%. Pressed October 2019, bottled June 2021. And this fella, a fruity variety that produces a full-flavoured bittersweet cider. Major probably originated in Somerset in the mid-19th century, but it took a long time to become popular. We are lucky that it did, however, as it has become a firm favourite on Broome Farm. We fermented this cider in an American oak cask for 6 months and then matured in a neutral container. For this batch of Major, we blended in a small fraction of gilly and sweet coppin to expand the flavour. So, this has been in an American oak barrel. I haven't tried this yet, but I suspect it had bourbon in it. And it's been blended with gilly and sweet coppin. I'm familiar. I know of those two apples, but I can't remember the details of them. But I'll put it on the screen, so you know. But I'm going to start with this one, which I've already had a little taste of, as you can see, because I started the film, then it all went to crap, and I had to start again. So, let's pour it out again. Take two. I won't pour out too much, because I've got to drink it, and then drink that one. So, nice colour, lovely colour, beautiful amber. So, Major is a favourite of mine. It was the cider that got me into dry cider. Mike Johnson of Ross-on-Wye gave me 15 bottles of cider to take home and try very, very generously. And I started trying them over the course of several days, took notes. I got to about halfway through and had a light bulb moment and I went, I'm enjoying this. I now like dry cider. And the bottle I was drinking at the time was a bottle of Major from these guys. So this particular varietal from this particular producer has a place in my heart. So let's give this a sniff anyway. We like the colour. It's quite bright as well. Slight haze. Lovely nose, lovely nose. I mean, loads of apple actually. There's a darkness to it, slight earthiness to it, slight sort of sweat skin leatheriness to it. But on top of that, there's quite a nice, fresh, bright apple character, like fresh red apple sort of character, which is really nice actually. Yeah, game of two halves on the nose. That you got the kind of that dark, sweated kind of character, sweated apple, but then you got some lightness and freshness on top of that, which is a nice combination. I must say. Which I didn't expect. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, and the palate follows through on the nose. There's tannin in this, irrespective of what it says in the bottle. There's a little bit of astringency, a little bit of squeaky tooth, not much. There's a hint of kind of leatheriness on the back. But it's got loads of fruit on the mid palate, but it's quite a light fruit. It's not as dark. There is kind of like dark leatheriness and skins to it, but there's a kind of a freshness to it as well. It's like a fresh apple character in the middle, which is really nice. Really nice. It's a really nice contrast. It's a really nice balanced. I think it said it was balanced, and it is. It's a really nice balanced side of this, I must say. Got some of that darkness and depth of character you expect from a dry cider made from cider apples and a single varietal sort of a bittersweet. But it's got some freshness and lightness of character as well, which offsets that. And I think that's a really nice. I really like that. I really like that actually. 6.8%. It hides it. It really does. Yeah, nice. Maybe get a bit darker on the nose, a bit more phenolic, but yeah, I like this. So that was the first one. Second one has been in American oak. Methinks that means it's been in a bourbon barrel. because they're more American oak barrels and pretty much all bourbon barrel, I think. I'm pretty sure. Now, I didn't taste this one, but when I took the top off, there was no hiss whatsoever, no bubbles whatsoever. For some reason, this appears to be still, and I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be. Yeah. But let's pour it out and see. Get rid of that. Let's pour it out and see. So blended with gilly and sweet copping as well, it said, didn't it? Another great colour again. Maybe slightly lighter in colour. Maybe slightly lighter. That possibly comes from the blended ciders that they've put in there. But it's much more of a... It's got some amber, but it's closer to sort of a deep gold, I want to say. Well, amber, deep gold. You decide. I don't mind. But it's a nice looking thing. Slight haze. But yeah, I think this is totally still for whatever reason. Don't know why. The crown cap seemed intact. So, don't know. So this is probably going to be still, which will make it very different in that regard as well to the first one that we tried. But let's give it a smell. It's got legs on that. It's quite viscous. I can see the legs going down the side of the glass. So yeah, 8.4, possibly more. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I don't think that smells of bourbon. I think that smells more of whiskey than bourbon. I really do. I think it's got a hint of peatiness about it. Yeah, we had one the other day, and I thought it was like, I can't remember which one it was. Ashton Bitter, was it? And it had a proper hit of bourbon to it. I mean, straight away. Before it didn't say it was in a bourbon barrel, but as soon as I stuck my nose in, I thought, that is bourbon. This doesn't have that character. This smells more peaty to me, and less like an American barrel. American oak cask. Okay, it says American oak cask, so... It's certainly got whiskey of sorts about it, whether it be American, Scottish, whatever. It's got hints of that, for sure. And that's the main thing I'm getting. That is the main thing I'm getting. I'm digging deep, trying to get some apple out of it, but that's the thing I'm getting the most of. So let's give this thing a try. It's still, it is absolutely still. That whiskey element, is it bourbon or whiskey? I can't quite decide. It feels more, I imagine more it was like a British whiskey than an American whiskey, I must say. I mean, I could be completely wrong. There's heat on this. It's 8.4, but I can feel that alcohol in the back. There's minerality. So, there is some tannin. I feel like this has been lightened by those other two varietals, the sweet coppin and the gilly. I don't know what the proportion is, but this feels like there's been something added to this to lighten it, to make it a bit less in your face. Maybe it's been added to bring down the ABV as well to some degree, if there are lower ABV ciders that they put in there. Getting a bit of melon, getting a bit of watermelon. This is interesting. I'm sorry, I'm having to think quite hard about this, especially after that last one. This is a different beast entirely. The last major I had that was in American oak, this is batch E17, the D80, the batch D80 that was a major in American oak, which had bourbon, was, for my money, one of the best things I have had, full stop, from Ross-on-Wye. This is totally different, to my mind. You do get the spirit, for sure. There's minerality. The main flavour profile I'm getting is of melon. Like watermelon, not apple, but it's like whiskey watermelon. That's the best way I can describe it. That is what it tastes like to me. I'm getting some slight hints of bitterness, like a leatheriness, bitterness, like hard tannin on the back, hint. A bit of a astringent on the front, not much though. Less than the first one that we had, for sure. Maybe do that with the blending, I'm not sure. Totally different beast, and still, and I don't think it's supposed to be still. So I'm not really getting this exactly as it's meant to be, and having carbonation will change a drink massively. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this. I think I like it. I think I do like it. That melon character I actually think is delicious. I really do. I just wish it had the sparkle, which I think it's intended to have. So there you go. 2 majors from the same producer, from the same vintage. This one in American oak. This one not. This one blended with a couple of other varietals. This one not. Which is my favourite of the 2? I'm going to go this one. Just because this is as it was intended. It has sparkle. This one hasn't got a sparkle. Therefore, I don't think it is as intended. Therefore, I can't really judge it on merit. But I do think if this had a sparkle, it would be delicious. I'd really like it. But you do feel the heat in the back of your throat. You can tell that it's boozy. This one you can't. It's 6.8. So yeah, bit of a beast. Less of a beast. And absolutely delicious. So the winner today, I think, is this one. But yeah, can't really tell. Both of them worth trying. Absolutely. Particularly this one if you can get it sparkling as well. So there you go. Blah, blah, blah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me in my shed. That was 10 minutes of your life you'll never get back. So yes, thank you. All right, guys. I hope you join me again. But until then, cheers.